And here's another repeat. Here's another repeat question. So the diagram shows the population projections or predictions until the year 2075 for different areas. That's much of the world. So let's see what they say. And they say, assuming no migration, because if there is migration in and out, then it makes this question much more complicated. So assuming no migration, which situation must exist if the population is to change in the manner shown in the diagram? So I'm going to look at how the populations change in the manner shown. What is the manner shown in the diagram? Populations are generally increasing, especially in Africa, but population is generally increasing except maybe developed countries. So I'll say population, something must must increase the population. So let's look at the answers. And A says birth rate falling and death rate falling. For populations to increase, if the birth rate is falling and the death rate is falling, we don't know how much each one is falling, then we don't know the end result. So this is not the answer. Let's see. B is birth rate greater than death rate. Yes. If the trend is increasing population, if your birth rate or number of births per 1,000 is greater than the death rate, number of deaths per 1,000 population, then that must be true to have an increasing population without migration. So C is probably not true. B is the answer, I believe. C says a death rate greater than the birth rate, but if the death rate is greater than the birth rate, your population is falling, right? More people per 1,000 are dying every year than the number of births per 1,000 people every year. D is probably incorrect. And the death rate rising and the birth rate falling, no, this would decrease your population, clearly. So B must be the answer. 26. A government in a developing country has given extra funds to promote trade in rural areas, encouraging the establishment of small shops. What's likely to increase? Primary industry in the private sector. Maybe not. Primary industry in the public sector, no. This is not public sector, this is private. Establishment of small shops by private owners. Secondary industry in the public sector, also no. And so maybe D, tertiary industry in the private sector. Yes, establishment of small shops, that's done by people or private companies. And small shops are tertiary level production or a tertiary level service. So the answer must be D. Tertiary is service industries, and retail, a small shop is retail, and retail is a service industry. So D is the answer for 26. And number 27. Is number 27 a definition? And this one's repeated often. So a government policy that will most likely increase the volume of exports is a devaluation of your currency. You reduce the value of your currency, in relation to other currencies, and your exports will cost less and you will export more. The volume of exports will increase. Embargoes are refusal to trade, either to import or export, so that will not increase the volume of exports. Quotas is a limit to the quantity of products imported or exported, so quotas will not increase the volume. And, a tariff is a tax on exports. So if other countries tax the exports of this country, then the volume of exports will fall. They won't increase. So the answer is clearly A.